this is how it's going to be, and this is what you're going to do with the prayers and everything. This one was on the top of the tower here. And when he was looking around the dead bodies, he wanted to find Stevan Sinjelic.
ये वाला, ये बुलेट से मारा हुआ है, इनका जो हेड है ना वो स्मैश कर दिया गया।
And they were just close to each other, just sticking the.
स्टोरी सुनकर ना दिल को दर्द होता है मालूम। और नेक्स्ट वीडियो में आप देखोगे कि आगे का मैं आज का दिन कैसा कंप्लीट कर रहा हूँ। कंटिन्यू करते हैं अगले वीडियो में। So where are we going next?
Now we are going we can go to the fortress.
Okay.
You just to check out the city center a little bit. The Nishava River fortress is a beautiful park inside, and also follows the history. And I think because it would be period correct, because we visited the Skull Tower to go to the fortress that was also built by the Turks.
Okay.
And it was built on the foundations of the old medieval Serbian fortress that they previously destroyed because of their attack and when they captured Niš.
Okay.
So, putting layer by layer, piece by piece, and then we will talk about relatively recent history, which is the period of Second World War, which is again, much later than what we are now focusing on.
Okay.
The fortress, or we can leave the fortress for later, or we can go across this pedestrian bridge into the central square and the main pedestrian street. And the Tinker's Alley Street, which is full of cafes, bars, things like that, shops, if you're interested in that. And also regarding the food requirements. That's Nishava River, and you can see that the river banks are quite high, because in springtime, if the hot temperature arrives much sooner than supposed, it will melt snow very fast. What happens is the level of the water will rise rapidly, and then the river can be extremely violent and dangerous and overflood the entire area. That's why it's literally a wall within the city. You see how tall it is, so that you have several layers of defense as the river climbs up. But the river is very nice, it's very cold, and it's full of fish, and there is a lot of people fishing from time to time, and also they have a kayaking club, they practice kayak. But now the water level is relatively low. They're a bit bigger.
यहाँ पे मछलियाँ दिखाई दे रही है।
There, maybe you can see it. You see how it runs?
Oh yeah. I saw one is
You just need to watch carefully, because of course they're camouflage. They don't want to be seen. But we have trout, we have clan, we have some indigenous species that are more local. I mean, that are not known as trout. Let's put it that way. It's easier, of course. Trout is also indigenous, but it's kind of cool that in a city of 500,000 people, you have a water that is that clear, and you can actually come literally in the city center and fish. So that's quite nice. And the water is cold. It's not very warm. It's warmer than it like a couple of months ago would be much colder, and it can be a couple of meters higher level than it is now. We can go here to the traffic light. As we cross, we will enter the main gate to the fort.
Okay.
Here it was the old castrum. Castrum is a Roman name for a fortress. Because Niš, as I said, is a very old city. When the Romans arrived, they have established a town that was very important. So much so that it gave birth to 3 Roman emperors, and one of them is one of the most famous Roman emperors that ever ruled the Roman Empire. The Constantine the Great himself was born in the city of Niš, the founder of Constantinople. Today's Istanbul wouldn't be in existence today if there hadn't been Constantine the Great, who was born in this city. And later, with the fall of the Roman Empire and rise of the Byzantine Empire, which is basically basically the continuation of the Roman Empire, but the Eastern Roman Empire it was referred at that time. With the rising and development of the medieval Serbian state, it was taken over by the Serbian state at the city of Niš. The old Byzantine fortress, which I'm talking about the same place, so it never changed the location, it was always here from day one, was redone, refortified, improved, then again destroyed by the Ottomans during their invasion into the Europe and into the part of Europe, this south part of Europe that today we refer as Balkan Peninsula. And when they destroyed the medieval Serbian fortress, they didn't care of restoring it back, because very soon, or relatively soon in the frames of history anyways, they pushed more to the north. They went all the way to Belgrade. Eventually they captured Belgrade in the beginning of 16th century. So they didn't care about rebuilding the fortress, because their empire extended all the way to the confluence of Sava and Danube. So this was just integrated part of the empire, and therefore was not necessary to defend it or to have it like a full protective walls. But since on the opposite side there was another growing power, which was the Austrian Empire, or later Austro-Hungarian Empire. These two empires, Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian, started to lean on each other. And like in history, and like even today, in the present time, when you have two powers come too close to each other, some sparks will start. Wherever you have a spark, you potentially have a fire, right? And that's exactly what we are seeing today, unfortunately, and that's exactly what was happening hundreds of years ago in this particular case, when the Ottoman Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire were, like any other empire, needed to extend. And because history is teaching us that every big power, every big empire needs to spread, needs to claim more and more, needs to take more and more. Because when it stops doing that, it will collapse within itself. The problem here was that these two big powers were leaning on each other, so they were pushing each other, like, because they didn't have any more maneuvering space. That immediately meant war. And this war, given or take, lasted for almost 300 years, and there were many conflicts, many battles, many problems that these two were issuing to each other. Unfortunately, we Serbs were stuck in between, and it was not happy days for us, at least to say, because we were splitted and we lived in both sides and in both of these empires. And in one moment, since Belgrade became the Ottoman city, border city, it was recaptured by the Austrians, Austro-Hungarians. When that happened, the year was 1717, that immediately brought another problem. If the Austro-Hungarians manage to push now more to the south, closer to Niš, and maybe potentially capture the city of Niš, the gateway that I already explained to Istanbul itself will be open. And that was a big no-no for the Turks. They couldn't allow that. So immediately they ordered that the old Niš fortress should be rebuilt in the fastest possible way. And they did it in only 4 years, which was astonishing. Everything that you see here that was built now, mosque in the city.
Okay.
It's periodically, because it is used as a gallery.
Okay.
It's missing the rest of it is very, very good preserved. And there is a coffin for a child, and over there all the way down is a coffin for a baby.
Oh, the smaller one.
Yes.
Okay.
And another one over there. And here also as an individual, you can come and buy some of the flowers to take them home. They have a small office and
तो ये बंदा बता रहा था, डिटेल्स दे रहा था, लेकिन मेरी अनफॉर्चुनेटली इसकी बैटरी ख़त्म हो गई, तो मैं अभी मोबाइल से शूट कर रहा हूँ बाकी की वीडियोस। तो ये भी नर्सरी में आया हूँ। नर्सरी में यहाँ पे आप फ्लावर्स वगैरह देख सकते हो, तो यहाँ पे ख़रीद भी सकते हो। कुछ छोटे छोटे पौधे होते हैं फूल के, तो ये देखो यहाँ पे रखा हुआ है, ये है। और यहाँ पे बोलते हैं बुक स्टॉल है छोटा सा, तो उसमें बुक भी पढ़ लेते हैं लोग बैठ के। दिस इज ऑल्सो अ टाइप ऑफ फ्रूट और
It's Ilex stubasti. That's the name of the like aloe vera, and it's actually eatable.
Okay. We can eat this.
Yeah.
चलो हम भी ट्राई करते हैं इसको।
Slightly acidic maybe, but this one is still not. It should be more acidic, and that's what gives it actually, and it's very healthy.
This one is lavender, huh?
I believe so. It's a good time of the year because now birds very birds are nesting.
ये जो पिजन आप देख रहे हो, ये एक डिफरेंट टाइप का ब्रीड है। ये मोनोगामस होता है और ये लकड़ियाँ जमा कर रहा है। आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे ला के रख रहा है यहाँ पर, और ये नेस्ट बनाने के लिए प्लानिंग कर रहा है अपनी लकड़ियाँ जमा करके। कितना मस्त लग रहा है ना, एकदम चिड़िया की आवाज़ आ रही है, एकदम नेचुरल है और एकदम रॉ है ये जो भी है। इसको मैं तो कोई म्यूज़िक वगैरह कुछ ऐड करने वाला नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि ऐसे ही रखना ही बेस्ट होगा, क्योंकि आप लोगों को वो जो रियल आवाज़ है ना, देखो चिड़िया की आ रही होगी, वो मज़ा आएगा ना देखने में, वो शायद ज़्यादा एडिट करने में मज़ा नहीं आएगा।
That was built in 1950s. It's not from Roman period or something like that. It's much newer, but it's from mid 1950s. It sits and it is used for many, events, concerts, open theater, plays, performances, movie plays, and also during the famous jazz festival or Nashville, it's also used as one of the main stages. But it's very conveniently placed and kind of blends in very nicely into the whole fortress. And what I like also, but now it's not seen very much because that bush that grows from the wall itself kind of covers it. There is a public restroom, and it says like men to the left because the women are always right. And today we have, I think, the best relationship with the Republic of Turkey in history. We never had such a good relationship with the modern Turkey today than we had regarding all of our history and everything. Yes, it's very relaxing now, and we have a lot of mutual cooperation. The point that everybody is equal because it is in human nature to say, look, I drive a Ferrari, I'm successful, and you're driving Tata Nano.
ये मेन एंट्रेंस है फोर्ट का, और ये यहाँ पर फाउंटेन है, आप देख सकते हो। और यहाँ से मेन है सिटी सेंटर वाला रास्ता है जो आगे की तरफ जाता है। यहाँ ब्रांड्स देख सकते हैं, H&M वगैरह है यहाँ पर, और पब्लिक अच्छा खासा वॉक कर रही है, मस्त लग रहा है। अच्छा, ये जो फ्लैग लगे गवर्नर का ऑफिस है यहाँ पर, नीस के जो गवर्नर है ना उनका, इन दिस रेस्टोरेंट राइट। ओ आई दे हैव gelato, I can see from here. Kiwi, yeah.
There is nothing fancy, but that's what is cool about it.
Oh, pastries and all. Oh, baklava also there. It's baklava, yeah.
This is like Greek Serbian style. This is Turkish style baklava.
Okay.
And then you have this is with milk and caramel. This is very light, very refreshing. Kadayif, tulumba, urmashica. They have all kinds of of stuff.
Oh, this is kind of a barbecue. Huh?
Yeah, all different. I like to eat here because it's good and it's fresh. They make it all the time, but they have all kinds of
So
stuff.
this is all mix of like beef, mutton.
Yeah, beef. Well, it depends what you want.
Okay.
Somebody who doesn't eat
Choice is there.
pork, you can eat chicken, or you can eat the hamburger that is veal meat or beef meat without pork. You have,
So they have all burgers. Everything.
yes, and the nice thing is that's why
ये ऑलमोस्ट मैं आ गया हूँ सिटी सेंटर की तरफ. ये आप पीछे देख सकते हो पूरा पब्लिक वॉक कर रही है. जो शॉप्स वगैरह है आपको दिखेंगे और लोकल बर्गर और कबाब वगैरह के शॉप्स है जैसे मैंने आपको प्रीवियस क्लिप में बताया. तो अच्छा है. इधर कुछ खाने का भी ढूंढते हैं हम लोग क्योंकि भूख बड़ी ज़बरदस्त लगी हुई है.
bakery, pastry, Brankovic, and they have a few shops around town that kind of they have all kinds of stuff. Check out do they have burek. And is it with sunflower oil or not?
देखो यहाँ पे ये थोड़े उम्र दराज है. ये भी काम करते हैं यार. देखो ये चाचा को. ओके दिस इज ऑल
Yeah, this is more like French
नाइस. ये पीछे एक नया रेस्टोरेंट ओपन हुआ तो उसमें जाके मैंने ये चेक किया था रेट्स वगैरह. तो वहाँ पे बुरेक ढूंढ रहा था तो बुरेक मिल रहा नहीं है क्योंकि यहाँ पे मतलब मैं हलाल टाइप का ढूंढ रहा. तो उसी के रिसर्च में हुआ भी क्योंकि कोई कोई कहता है कि जैसे मैं पोक ऑयल यूज़ करते हैं चीज़ वाले में भी इवन वेज में भी तो सनफ्लावर ऑयल वाला ढूंढ रहे हैं जो यहाँ पर मिल जाए. बिना खाए तो ये कंट्री से जाना नहीं है. जो कोई भी आ रहा है ये खा के ज़रूर जाना बुरेक.
I found one that is really like Burek famous, but it's 5 minutes away with the car. I don't know how much walking. It's not.
Oh, they have. मिल गया हमें. ये रहा बुरेक.
O, koje su pitice? Okay, so bureks are all with fat.
मैंने ये वाला उठाया है. ये कैबेज वाला 90 दिनार का है तो मैं इसको खाने वाला हूँ क्योंकि मैं वेज प्रेफर कर रहा हूँ अभी. तो मैंने वेज लिया है और उसको खा के थोड़ा आगे जाके कुछ अच्छा खाना खाने का सोच रहा हूँ क्योंकि मिल रहा नहीं है कोई अच्छा रेस्टोरेंट. पाव खा खा के एकदम परेशान हो गया. मालूम कब से पाव ही खा रहा हूँ. यहाँ पे से बहुत सारे आपको दिखाई देंगे जो लोकल ऐसे बर्गर वगैरह बनते हैं. उसके रेट्स आप देख सकते हैं 120 170. बहुत सस्ता है यार. ये देखो यहाँ पर भी कुछ ऐसा बन रहा है एकदम ताज़ा ताज़ा एकदम मज़ेदार. बोलते हैं कि यहाँ पर मोस्टली एक्सपेंसिव जैसे मैकडोनल्ड्स वगैरह थे वो सारे ना बंद हो गए ठप हो गए क्योंकि ये जो लोकल छोटे मोटे जो थे ना जैसे मैंने आपको बताया उन लोग कबाब और बर्गर वगैरह इतने सस्ते अमाउंट में देते हैं. 3-3 दिरहम में बड़ा वाला मिल जाता है. 3 दिरहम यानी अपने 60 या 80 रुपये में ना इंडिया के मस्त बड़ा वाला बर्गर मिल जाता है. तो यार मैकडोनल्ड्स में क्यों जाके कोई खाएगा या कोई बड़े बड़े ब्रांड्स में क्यों खाएगा यार. तो उन लोग सारे लोग ने ना बंद कर दिया और ये सब लोग के एकदम धड़ल्ले से चल रहे हैं यार शॉप्स.
Used to be shops
Okay.
where people were using brass to make all kinds of pottery.
Okay.
Brass pottery.
ओके.
So I think it should be after this one.
Yeah, it seems like I saw this street looks like somewhere I'm I'm in Istanbul or Turkey. सब पब्लिक मज़े कर रही है, इतना मज़ा आ रहा है इन लोगों को देखने के लिए, पर मैं जो खाना ढूंढ रहा हूँ तो मिल ही नहीं रहा यार, क्या करेंगे। तो ये रात को कुछ ज़्यादा ही मज़ेदार लगेगी स्ट्रीट्स। वैसे अभी दिन में इतना अच्छा लग रहा है, तो जैसे रिपब्लिक स्क्वायर था बेलग्रेड का, वैसे ही ये भी स्ट्रीट ऐसी कलरफुल लग रही है। और अरे यार मेरे सामने देखो क्या है, इधर बैठ के ना सब लोग फ़ोटो ले रहे थे अभी, ये ना कपल। यहाँ पे ऐसे ही वॉक कर रहा था मैं पीछे वाली स्ट्रीट पे से, तो दो छोटे छोटे एकदम बच्चे आ गए और ना पैसे मांगने लगे, एकदम छोटे यार। तो मैंने ना एकदम ऐसा रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे, तो मैंने ना 10 दिनार का एक ऐसा नोट निकाल के दे दिया। हालांकि अपने इंडिया के तो 5 रुपये बनते हैं, तो ऐसा बच्चे दिखे तो दे दिया करना कभी। ये एक हेज़लनट का आइसक्रीम लिया है, वो जो पहले शॉप बताया वहाँ से उठाया, पर एक ये केक टाइप का ये उठाया मैंने। 120 दिनार्स का ये है और 80 दिनार्स का ये आइसक्रीम ट्राई किया, बड़ा मस्त था। मतलब इतना भी अच्छा नहीं था जो कल खाया था ना वो सारा में, उससे कंपैरिजन में ये थोड़ा ओके था। और अभी मैं खा रहा हूँ ये केक, इसको देखते कैसा है ये। दूध ब्रेड जैसा है केक, थोड़ा एसेंस है इसमें और लेस स्वीट है, अच्छा है। सो करेंटली वेयर आर वी एट?
This is the Red Cross neighborhood
ओके
of Niš, but also it is referred to the Red Cross concentration camp, not because it has something to do with the Red Cross organization, it just simply because it was established by the Nazis in Second World War in the Red Cross neighborhood, which got the name because behind us is the railway station, and before the Second World War it was the headquarters of the Red Cross organization in Niš.
ओके
And I will convert this building that I will explain you what it was before into a prison camp, just because it was convenient for them, for the reason that the railway station was very close. So all the people they were bringing here, those who were not immediately killed or sent to execution places here in Niš, have been put into trains and sent to other concentration camps in Belgrade or Jasenovac, in at that time the Nazi-oriented state of Croatia or Germany or elsewhere.
ओके ये देखो, ये है यहाँ पे पॉपी इसको बोलते हैं, एकदम पेपर जैसा लग रहा है।
Of Niš, and one Botmer was the commander of the army group information about what exactly happened. So, but during the occupation and to make him suffer more, you put him here, and you can see here.
लास्ट वाला प्रिजन है, इसके अंदर आप देख सकते हो ये स्पेशल है, कहते हैं इसमें कोई वेंटिलेशन नहीं है। जो आपने प्रिजन्स देखा पीछे, सोचो नाजीज लोगों ने जीव्स लोगों को ऐसा बंद करके रखा था, क्या गंदे तरीके से उन लोगों को ट्रीट किया जाता होगा। उस टाइम में क्या होता होगा, उन लोगों को दर्द सहना पड़ता होगा और उन लोगों को मालूम होगा कि क्या उन पे बीतती होगी। सो सैड यार, मतलब